It's that time of the season once again. Welcome back, guys, to another video, the F1 2016 career mode, round number 6 here for the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the verge of possibly winning our 4th race in a row for the Manor team collectively. In China, managed to win that race. In Russia, we could have potentially won that race too, but Pascal Wehrlein went ahead, won that one. And then in the following race in Spain, we managed to take our 2nd victory of the season as well, and that was the previous episode. So now it's round 6, Monaco Grand Prix. I absolutely love this track. Don't exactly love it when it's in full wet conditions at the moment, but we come to the end of our very first lap of the weekend. That was the track acclimatization test. Managed to get the 50 resource points that we needed. Went ahead now, and it's still in the wet conditions, still in free practice 1. We are doing a qualifying run on the wet tyres. So if we can manage to beat the target time on the wet tyres, that kind of, reduces the kind of running we need to do on dry tyres. But we've crashed. We've crashed in free practice 1 in this Monaco Grand Prix. I was just correcting a slide as we go over the top of the hill here. Turn right. I've probably gone in a little bit too quick on the power, a bit too early. I've corrected the slide. And really, more than anything, I've just run out of room to save it. It wasn't a crash. I just ran out of room to save it. That's a classic quote I've heard from someone over the years. But yeah, that was the end of our practice session there. Been unfortunate for it to end the way that it did there. But at the end of that, we end up in, well, it's not inside the top 10 where Pascal is. We scroll down, and I think we're going to be, we're last. Because we only got 1 lap in, and that was a track acclimatization kind of banker lap. So we move on to free practice 2 now, where this is FP3, I believe, where it is essentially very, very dry, as you can see. Doing the tyre wear test on the super soft tyres, just getting up that resource points once again. The next thing I want to target in terms of a car development is going to be weight reduction, because it's an upgrade that's going to give us the biggest benefit, and it's going to benefit us at every single track around the calendar. So that's going to be prioritized at the moment. It's lost the back end there. Under braking, heading into the Nouvelle chicane. I see that so much happen in real life. But yeah, that was scary. I've got the new setup on my car, which I'll explain why that actually happened. With this new faster setup that I have for Season 2, the brake bias has been kind of wound back to the rear, and when you get to Monaco, it doesn't exactly help coming into some of these corners. So what I did is I moved the brake bias more towards the front, and I also moved around the weight distribution more towards the front as well, to give better balance and less oversteer, because before I made that change, the car was very unstable. And so, when you come to Monaco, something that's very important is having stability under brakes. I never really talk about it, but you need to have a really good feeling in the brake pedal. The car needs to be stable under braking, and when it's oversteery like that, it really makes cause for some accidents. And there, at the end of FP3, we do a qualifying pace run on the ultra soft tyres, fastest lap time of the session at the time. And by the end of it there, we end up in position number 2. So a very exciting few practice sessions there. We got all the data we needed to do, got all the resource points, and we managed to improve the setup as well. So heading into qualifying, I'm feeling pretty damn confident. So let's go to quali.
Here we are at one of the most difficult circuits on the racing calendar. Welcome to Monaco for today's Formula 1 qualifying.
So heading into this qualifying session, this is going to be my best chance as of late to get myself a pole position, because I don't have that against my name in this career mode, and that's something I would absolutely love to do. In qualifying 1 there, only did the 1 lap. I felt like I was pretty safe to get myself through to qualifying 2, but as we fast forward time, I realized that the lap wasn't good enough. I only ran in standard. I really didn't push the envelope in terms of getting close to the barriers or anything like that. I left a lot of time on the table, and we got caught out for that. So I had to do another run on the ultra soft tyres. This is still the very same set that I used earlier on in the session, and with a used set, we then punch in a much better time. A 14.1 secures us inside the top 10 to move on to qualifying 2. So, not the ideal situation, but I think that's still going to be okay. It's not going to affect our race strategy or anything like that, because what I'm going to do for qualifying 2 is I'm going to use super softs and start the race on that compound. Hopefully we can make it through to qualifying 3 on this current set of tyres, and that'll really set us up well for the start of this Monaco Grand Prix. So heading off now for qualifying 2, you notice that I changed the fuel load for the start of the session. It said I had 20 kilos worth of fuel. I must have been carrying that for qualifying 1 as well, so that obviously must have slowed me up quite a lot. So heading into the rest of these qualifying sessions, I've got much less fuel on the car, and hopefully I can absolutely punch in maybe a 1 minute 12 to absolutely smash maybe pole position for this race. That's going to be the goal for this qualifying session today. At the end of our first run on super soft tyres, we do a 14.0. So 1/10 faster than what we managed in qualifying 1, and I will definitely take that. We move on to the next session. We're going to start the race on the super soft tyres, and strategically, that means we're in a really good shape for this race. Qualifying 3 now, our very first lap, we hit the wall on the exit to back there, but I've decided to carry on here. We got to set a banker time, and because I qualified on the super softs in the last session, that means I've got 2 brand new sets of ultra soft tyres to use for this final part of qualifying. First lap is done, and we set a 1 minute 13.3. Not too bad, actually, when you consider that we lost our front wing, lost some time there, and then of course had reduced downforce for the final sector of that race. Of the lap, sorry. Now this is the end of qualifying 3 laps of fuel, brand new tyres. We're going to absolutely smash in the best lap we can do. We've got to find a few tenths actually to get anywhere near the front row at the moment. You can see it's actually quite competitive today, and it's going to take an almighty lap for us in order to move up any more positions. So heading into the Novelle chicane for the final time, we managed to go through there fairly nicely. We're up by just under a 10th, but if you remember, this is the 3rd sector where we lost all of our time. We brushed the wall again through the exit of the tobacco corner, through the final chicane, absolutely flying over the curb there, making up so much time. 3.5 tenths, maybe 4 tenths up as we head through the final sequence of corners. Is it going to be 5 tenths? I don't know what the difference is from us to pole position, but this is going to be awfully close across the line. Where do we end up? Oh no, it's 3rd place. It's not pole position today, guys. I was really gunning for that. Hopefully trying to get pole position. The lap was a bit scruffy. I lost the back end a lot of times there, really overdriving the car, hit the wall, and didn't concede any damage luckily. But we still set a 12.8. 2.5 tenths away from pole position, and still a Monaco pole position eludes me. Just a pole position in general on F1 2016 seems to be impossible for me at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get that at some point across this season. We have 3 wins already, so I can't complain too much. But now it's time for the race for the Monaco Grand Prix.
Motor racing has come a long way since the first Grand Prix of the early 20th century. We have faster cars, bigger circuits, highly trained drivers who've dedicated their lives to racing. But still, we return here. Still, it remains the most desired victory in Formula One. Still, we race the Monaco Grand Prix.
What's going on there, Crofty? That doesn't sound very, I don't know, enthusiastic about this race. I feel like he wants to get rid of Monaco from the calendar. We're not going to have that, but here we are for the race. It's the Monaco Grand Prix. As always, looks like the strategy is a one-stop, going from the super softs to the soft compound tyres. And then if you look at the race strategies there, very close between the 1 and the 2 stop there. But as you guys know, track position is more important than anything in racing at the Monaco Grand Prix. Like, you can have the faster race strategy doing the 2 stops. You can finish the race faster. But the thing that's, really hard to overcome is getting that track position. Overtaking is definitely at a premium when it comes to this racetrack. So the goal for us is ultimately to lead this race. Nothing else will matter, but away we go for this Monte Carlo race. We managed to get a nice start. It's okay. We still maintain 3rd heading through turn 1. You can see Verstappen getting very close to us as we try and squeeze past him now. We've got a really nice run up the hill, but we couldn't get around Sebastian Vettel there, unfortunately. The gap was closing. I had to surrender, otherwise we would have had an almighty crash involving the entire field there. but we managed to survive the first lap, still in second place. Verstappen behind us, his teammate Daniel Ricciardo behind him. Somehow I'm losing my voice already, so I apologise about that. We go purple at the end of lap 3 there. DRS has been enabled, which is great to see. It's definitely going to assist us in trying to get in front of Sebastian Vettel here, doing Alonso flick there in order to, you know, let him know that we're there, try and, you know, take up a lot of space in his mirrors and just trying to intimidate Vettel into making a mistake. He has that track record of sometimes, you know, faltering under pressure, a la the Canadian Grand Prix in 2011. But now you can see we got a really nice run through here. I wanted to go to the inside there. Vettel wasn't having any of it there, and we lost all the momentum there. Very silly of us to actually make contact there and potentially risk losing our front wing there, but we managed to survive once again. Guys, I gotta say, the simulation damage is enabled for this career mode series, but time after time, we don't manage to chip off our front wing all too often, which is something that definitely needs to be looked at a patch later on down the track. Lap 5 now, you can see, very nice run out of Raskas. We go up the inside through the final corner, and there we go. We now lead this Monaco Grand Prix, and that's our ultimate goal of this race achieved. All we got to do now is hold on to this track position. I know it sounds like a massive task, but there's still 32 laps to go in this race. It's a long time to hold on to track position. This is my teammate Pascal Wehrlein coming in for a very early stop here on lap 8 and going on to another set of ultra soft tyres. So that leads me to believe that maybe the AI will be on a 2-stop race depending on, you know, what tyres they start on. So all the guys on ultra softs, they might switch on to ultra softs again if they want to do that 2-stop. So it's currently looking very good for us, currently on the 1-stop strategy. Lap 13 now, you can see we're just circulating along in this race at the moment. I believe one of the Red Bulls actually made their stop just a few laps ago. That was Max Verstappen. Vettel made his pit stop as well, but unfortunately I didn't really realise it at the time that the AI actually undercut me by 1, and in the Red Bull's case 2 to 3 laps, but at the end of lap 16 here, I'm making my pit stop now to go onto the soft compound tyres. So yes, the AI have undercut me, but I had about a 3-4 second lead, and hopefully that's going to be enough for me to maintain the lead of this Monaco Grand Prix heading off for the rest of this race. So we'll see as we rejoin on the track. Verstappen, oh dear. Oh dearie me, Verstappen is now taking the lead of this race. He pitted so early, and the thing is, I didn't even notice it as well because the cars behind were so close. The order really didn't change in terms of the names inside the top 3 there, but meanwhile, discussing what happened there, in our absolute calamity of a race strategy, Daniel Ricciardo just had enough momentum to get in front of me, and he moves into second place. So the Red Bulls at the moment lead 1-2. Kimi Räikkönen, meanwhile, is out of this race, and here is why. His left rear tyre has just exploded as he headed into the wall there. So he was leaving space for a Toro Rosso to go through, but he was being too much of a gentleman there, and he's out of the race, and his left rear tyre has gone through the wall and into the Monaco harbour, never to be seen again. If you live in the local area, might be worth picking up that tyre, selling it on eBay. You'll pick up a few coins for that one. Meanwhile, during the safety car, I think Pascal Wehrlein made his stop as well, and I believe he's going to go to the end of the race now. With only 20 laps to go, he should be fine to make it to the end. However, I'm not too sure about the Red Bulls because they stopped a few laps earlier than I did. They're on the super soft tyres at the moment, so it's going to be line ball as to whether they can actually make it to the finish or not. I really hope that they actually can't make it to the finish now because we're in third place. We've got a tyre disadvantage, but our tyres are going to hold out better as the race goes on. You'll notice that there's a Sauber and also a Mercedes stuck behind the safety car at the moment. The Sauber, it tries to overtake the safety car there, and he just completely runs into the back of it as he tries to overlap it. So he spun out in front of everyone there. Luckily he ghosted and allowed everyone else to follow through. Otherwise that might have been potentially a red flag because the track would have been blocked there. But that was absolutely mental. You can see the green light on the safety car says, you know, let lap cars go through. And then he's just like not cleared the safety car, run into the back of it, conceded damage. I actually don't know.
Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
Come on, engineer. Okay, yeah, I don't know if the Sauber actually retired from that or if he got disqualified, because in the past, if you touch the safety car, that's an absolute no-no, automatic disqualification. But away we go with this race once more. Verstappen leads the Monaco Grand Prix with 18 laps remaining. What can we do on our soft compound tyres? Do the Red Bulls need to stop again in this race? Lewis Hamilton is a lap down and needs to get in front of Verstappen in order to get back inside this race, in the contention for this race. But he lets Daniel Ricciardo go through, and then the next corner he lets me go through as well. In a very awkward position, just make it through there without, losing some carbon fibre bits off our car there. But now we can rejoin in this race. We've got the two Red Bulls in front of us on the super soft tyres. Yes, they're a faster car. This track is really going to suit them. Sergio Perez is out of the race. He was near Lewis Hamilton, so I wonder if Lewis has let him go through. No, he hasn't. He's got an engine failure heading into the final two corners of the lap. He could have pulled into the pit lane there, in all honesty, but he pulls off to the escape road and just shuts that thing down. You can see Alonso just gets a face full of smoke and just heat. It's not a pretty place to be there in Fernando Alonso's cockpit there. So we rejoin in this race. We lost the Sauber, we lost Sergio Perez. Now we're on board with Lewis Hamilton. He's been taken out of this race too. His contact with his teammate Nico Rosberg. So Lewis was a lap down, letting his teammate go through. Nico was just taking absolute liberties there. And he's just squeezed him too much, and Lewis's front tire has exploded. His suspension couldn't handle the contact from Nico's left rear tire there. So we rejoin in the action once again. We lost Lewis Hamilton, we lost Sergio Perez, and the Sauber as well. But after that, there was no safety car, which is really quite extraordinary. The fact that we lost at least two cars there, no virtual safety car, no nothing. We rejoin in this race. And from here on in, it was really just trying to hold on to track position because the Red Bulls didn't come in. They were faster than me. They had the tyre advantage. And from here on in, I was really just trying to hold on to my track position with Vettel right behind me on the super soft tyres. So this says to me, if I would have rejoined in the lead of this race, I would have won. I absolutely would have won. There was no way the Red Bulls could have got in front of me because Vettel, who got pole position, still hasn't found a way around me. But as we come through the final corner, it's going to be our first podium here for the Monaco Grand Prix on F1 2016.
Great work. Well done. We're really happy with the podium here.
Well, this is it. This is where they all want to be. Here come the top three then, out onto the podium after a fascinating Grand Prix.
So in the end, it is third place for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it turns out to be not the walk in the park that I was really expecting it to be. We got fourth place last season in a Manor car that had much less upgrades on it. So in the end, it was third place. It was much more convincing this season, the result that we did get. It's just a shame that the way that the race turned out, we missed some opportunities there by staying out too long. We lost the undercut. And as well, too, with the strategy, I feel like it might have been a bit too conservative. We possibly could have gone onto the ultra soft tyres and ran that to the end of the race. That would have made us be like more attacking towards the Red Bulls. We would have had a pace advantage to answer back with. But yeah, we obviously made the wrong strategy calls there because all the AI ran with ultra soft and super soft, and they seemed to manage fine there. But in terms of the driver standings there, it's third place. We've dropped down a place due to Max Verstappen winning that race and gaining 7 points. So he's 1 point away from Daniel Ricciardo once again. So it looks very, very tight at the top of the driver standings. Just 4 drivers separated by 12 points. And this championship battle is not over by any means. Constructors standings, we overtake Mercedes now, which is absolutely monumental to see that we now are faster, maybe more consistent than the Works Mercedes team, which is absolutely awesome. Resource points, we have 1,400 now, so we're just 100 points away from getting that crucial weight reduction upgrade, which is going to be the most expensive upgrade will ever have to buy on this game. So we're definitely getting there in terms of car development. But that's been this episode for today, guys. The Monaco Grand Prix. I think today that just shows that this racetrack isn't such a walk in the park like it has been in previous F1 games. I really gave it my all for this one, but couldn't get pole position, couldn't get the race win. It's definitely going to have to wait until next season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2016 videos. My voice was gone at the start of the video, so now it is just absolutely wrecked. Thank you guys for watching. Until my next video, I'll see you next time. Oh, my voice. Why?